Hello and welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Animals and Pets with Partha. Today is a very special occasion. We announced today that we have just launched last evening our promised portal on animalworldregistry.com. This animalworldregistry.com fills a big void that has been there for a long time. My association with the animal world is lifelong. In the last 50 years that I have been actively participating in the animal world as a dog judge, as a hobbyist, having kept numerous varieties of animals, wild animals and all that from my childhood, and of course domestic animals from pets to pet birds to even breeding birds. Then I had aviary, then fishes, aquarium fishes like freshwater, marine, planted, means all the works. Cats, means many cats, and dogs, of course, numerous. And I have judged around the world, many countries, and in most of these countries, I made it a point to see the animal world. Go and spend my time with veterinary doctors, and not only that, I have visited many dog shelters, many wildlife sanctuaries, wildlife parks in Africa, and all the rest. So it's always animals that has dictated my life, and the most part of my life it has been animals and animals only. My profession, which I started a veterinary clinic in 1980s, early 80s, 1983 to be very precise. And in that year, I started. It was a large, quite large in terms of our city. I had a 2,500 square feet of area with boarding kennels, of course, a small boarding kennel, and then a big clinic with surgery. Lots of veterinarians practiced in that clinic, and I have seen hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pets being treated, and then surgeries, of course, all sorts of surgeries done by many vets over the years. And this has given me an insight to the animal world, and it is something where I find a lot of solace and happiness to spend my time thinking of animals, being with animals, and maybe able to help people in keeping animals. So now I have decided that this animalworldregistry.com will be a very great help to the animal world in India at the moment. This portal, first of all, it is a great portal to identify each animal. They need an identification, a number, a tattoo, which is permanent, which can be referred to, means while you're transporting an animal, or even you need there's a certificate that carries which is required in many checkpoints. Whether the animal is traveling from one state to another, there may be checks where a certificate is necessary. How do you certify if you don't have a number? Red color, yellow color, green color, this is not authentic, because it can be any red color animal can travel. It is not that particular animal. So this is something which will fill in the gap there. Then say you have goats, and your goat, you lose the goat. It's gone. Somebody took it, somebody has found it and has kept it in his house. And then how do you complain that, well, I lost a black goat or a white goat? It must have a number. So that number this portal will generate. You are supposed to fill out the form yourself. That it's a self-generated, self-driven portal where you fill up all your own data that you are the owner, and the the identification is your WhatsApp number and a cell number. Everybody in this country, most people in this country, I wouldn't say everybody, is now using a smartphone. So in the smartphone you have that certificate there, and you can have a print also, and so there's a number. So that number can be tattooed onto the dog or the cat or the goat or the horse or anything. And all these procedures of tattooing is also been given in the portal, from where you can see them. It's all on YouTube. One can check. So it is a very proven method and very widely used all across the world. Means, in fact, a friend of mine who has 500 Pomeranians in a different country, he has all his dogs tattooed. He has a personal tattoo number which he tattoos and is registered with the kennel control there. So, because that's how he has to identify. Whereas as puppies, it's done on the dogs. So when he has to vaccinate, so they write the number, they check the number, oh, this dog has been vaccinated, or, this dog needs to be mated, or this dog needs to be bred, or this dog needs to be sterilized. So all these then must be a number. How do you identify if you, say you have 10 puppies, now you got to vaccinate them. If you don't have numbers, and if they get mixed up, you can vaccinate the same dog twice. So, just the other day, somebody, which I mentioned in one of my recent episode, that just the other day, a veterinary assistant who is associated with the government sort of NGO or whatever, they do a lot of sterilization work every day. About 30-40 dogs are sterilized. Now, they pick up from the road and sterilize it and then go back and leave it in the same place. So he says, I asked him that, well, if you pick up a dog and then you sterilize it, and after that, once you leave it, maybe next year you pick up the same dog and you operate and find the dog, the organ has already been removed before. He says, no, how do you identify? He says, we cut the ear. The chop of the ear, one of the ears is chopped. So, okay, this is a chopped ear dog, so that means it's been sterilized. So, this is not human. This is barbaric. This is not proper. You need a number. Once you do that and you have a number on that dog, so this number dog has been sterilized. So, and vaccination. A set of animal activists come and they vaccinate the whole area, all the dogs. Then somebody else comes and says, we want to do a vaccination campaign here, and they pick up the same dogs and start vaccinating because there is no number. So they don't have any records. So all animals, whether stray or domesticated for hobby or profession, they all need a proper identification. So keeping all this in mind, we designed this animalworldregistry.com. We have it's all you have to it is powered, it is automatically done. So you got to put in all your data yourself, and instantly a certificate is downloaded in PDF, which you can print and keep as record. So once you lose a bird, it has a closed ring. So the bird, say grey parrot, which is 75,000 worth today, or maybe a cockatoo, and it might just fly away, and these captive birds don't fly very far. Somebody catches it, and then how do you complain? So you have a certificate like this with that ring number, which is there in that ring, and that and it's registered in your name that I'm keeping this for 5 years, and because it's all the date and everything is there on the certificate, and then you take that paper and you file a complaint in the police, so you can find that bird and then get it back, because it is authentic that you are the owner and you have recorded that 5 years back on this animalworldregistry.com portal, and you got a certificate which is, of course, you fill up everything and you get it instantly, and so there's no hassle at all. And all this for the price of coffee, 99 rupees. And then when you transfer, it says the person who registers, he can only transfer it. So he transfer it to the next owner, and then the next owner. So if say you you buy a dog or buy an animal, and then you are taking it home, and you say, where do you get it? Well, we just bought it. Here's our transfer form. Here's the paper we just got. It's been transferred from so and so person into our name. We just bought it. So it is so authentic, and you need it. And it's the tattoo. If it is tattooed, if you insist that I want dogs that are tattooed, then you actually get to the breeder. The breeder will then make sure to tattoo all the dogs, because if he tattoos it, then only the sellers, means all these pet shops who are selling the dogs. Mostly people nowadays go to a pet shop and buy their pets. And we have to accept the fact that India has become means all in the pet industry. The pet shops now play a very important role, because they are the link between the ultimate buyer and the breeder. They are the link, and people prefer to take it from a pet shop because they get service from there. They go there, they buy their food, they buy their medicine, they buy their, all the management is done. The breeder may be a breeder who's in a remote place, is breeding animals, birds, whatever. So the pet shop people have come to stay. However much you complain, a lot of people complain that, well, these are the pet shops that, sort of they sell, they buy cheaply from breeders and sell at a higher price and all that. But it's the society that is going to decide, if they decide to buy from pet shops, we are nobody to complain. But then we need that sort of identification, which is important. So if the breeder wants to identifies and has a certificate and a tattoo, then a seller, it's easier for that person to take it and say, I give you this dog, this is from a reputable breeder, you see this certificate, here is the tattoo number, and here is the animal. So though he will make a little profit, of course, because to get it from a remote village where it's being bred into the city, keeping it, all the establishment and all that, and then he sells it, he finds the proper animal lover and he sells it off, and then the animal lover actually will buy from him because he's in the city and he gets all the backup services from this pet shop people or the clinic or whatever. So in this situation, the insisting on a certificate and a tattoo on a dog or a cat or whatever, a bird which has a certificate, is very, very important. So with all this, there are a lot of aspects, this sort of a portal needs to be explained in detail. Every part of it has to be sort of defined in front of in my YouTube channels, which I'll keep on doing and keep on explaining. But for today, I will end now. It's just an introduction. Do log into animalworldregistry.com and then find out wherever is the problem. Please give us a WhatsApp message. We are looking into it. We are going to make everything smooth for you. A very smooth experience, a very pleasant experience. It takes only a few seconds to register your dogs, and it takes a few seconds to become a member, where you will be entitled to an advertisement space for a year, and then not only that, you are sort of get a newsletter which is free, and subscribe to that. So with all this, bye for now. I'll come back in my next episode, more on animalworldregistry.com. Please subscribe, press the bell button, and like and share. Bye bye. Thank you.